Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're testing out a bunch of new makeup. I have a bunch of new things from the drugstore. However, my eyeshadow palette is an indie brand palette. This is actually a creator collaboration palette between Sassy Fairy and Bellabeaute bar. I've had this sitting in the box of shame for a few weeks now, so I'm finally going to get to use this in a video. The rest of our new makeup we're testing today are all drugstore products. The two items from L'Oreal were sent to me in PR. This is their new Paradise Big Deal Mascara and Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil. So those were sent in PR. And then I'm going to be testing out this e.l.f. Halo Glow pressed powder and a cream blush from CoverGirl. I purchased both of these. And I also purchased the Realm of Fairies palette myself. Just FYI, I don't know if you care or not, but that's the breakdown. I'm trying all of these things for the first time today, so we're not doing a full in-depth review. So this is really more of a first impressions, makeup playtime, and I'm going to give you all of my thoughts and my experiences along the way. So let's go back in time to less makeup Amanda. I was already wearing my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint, my Salt New York Best Case Concealer, and a little bit of the NYX Brow Glue Brow Gel. So not a completely blank canvas, but definitely a clean slate to start with. So let's go back to that version of Amanda.
The first new product that we're going to try today is the CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Blush Balm in the shade Sweet Violet. This is priced at $12.99 USD at Ulta where I purchased it, but you can actually find it for closer to like $10 from other retailers. I saw online that both Walmart and Amazon have this product for a little bit less, so just keep that in mind if you're shopping for this. The Skin Enhancer Blush Balm comes in 4 shades. So obviously we have this one, the Sweet Violet shade. There's also a bright bubblegum pink, a little light peachy nude, which originally I was going to purchase that one. That's more my typical blush that I go for, but I wanted to get out of the box and I'm glad I did. I like this color. And there's also a brighter, more corally peach shade. And then the Skin Enhancer little balm stick line also has contours and highlighters. There are 4 contour shades and then only 2 highlighter shades. Those just didn't really interest me too much. The blush was the most interesting of this family of products for me, and the thing that I can most see myself getting a high use value out of. So that's why I didn't choose to purchase the contour highlighter. The highlighter shades look a little underwhelming, and I'm just not a big contour girly. So this blush, kind of middle of the road for me. I'm going to wrap up more at the end of my review because even throughout this tutorial, you'll see that the blush does kind of wear not as great. Then I just added a little bit of the ColourPop highlighter in Pink Pony. I've been really hooked on pairing this pinky shiny highlighter with any blush that has even the slightest hint of pink to it. Then after adding my liquid highlighter, I'm going to do some powdering with this brand new e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder. I love an excessively long product name that has the same word in it twice. Love that. I'm using the shade Light Neutral. There are 12 shades available, which I think is good. This does have a bit of coverage to it. And this powder is priced at $14. This also comes with a little sponge puff applicator thingy, but I do find that all powders, including this e.l.f. one, work the best for my dry skin if I use a fluffy brush to apply it in light layers, and then I can build it up from there if I want more coverage. But piling on a lot of powder all at once just never really works for me, especially now that my already dry skin is 39 years old. built so naturally. I'm working with some more texture and fine lines than I used to, so using a brush is definitely a better look overall for me. I did do a little side by side here. You can see that this looks pretty darn natural as long as you don't put too much on. But the under eye area is where you can see it's reduced some of the shine from my hydrating concealer that I have on. I don't think this Halo Glow Powder is overly shiny, but I do like that it's not a super flat matte. I haven't worn it very built up for a super coverage look. I don't think that would work well for me in the winter, but maybe something I can experiment with in the warmer months. Now let's move on to this L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil. I have three shades here they sent in this cute little PR package. So I have 201 Milky New, 101 Crystal Clear, and 601 Worth It. This lip oil is currently offered in 10 shades. It's most expensive at Ulta, where it'll set you back $13.99. But pretty much every other retailer has it for closer to $10.99. However, you can almost always access a $3.50 off Ulta coupon, so I guess it kind of balances out in the end. The Plump Ambition lip oils do have a sweet minty scent. It's not super strong, but it's definitely there. It smells like mint chocolate to me, but it might actually be vanilla mint, and my brain is just misinterpreting the scent because I love mint chocolate. And these do have a plumping, tingly feeling to them, but it's a little bit delayed. I didn't notice it as soon as I put it on. It came on a little bit later. It's not too intense, but it's still not my personal favorite. So it's up to you if that's a deal breaker or not. I remain in the I don't like lip plumper camp, but I understand why other people either don't mind so much or actually enjoy the sensation. So I get it. Now let's move on to the Realm of Fairies palette. This is a collaboration between Bellabeaute Bar and Sassy Fairy. I purchased this palette for $72 from the brand's website. This is a 15 pan magnetic palette. You can see they're very easy to pop out. They have the little notches in the palette, which I appreciate. So you can switch around your shadows, mix and match, take some to travel. I like that. The Realm of Fairies palette has 7 true matte shades, 7 shimmers, and then 1 sequin matte, which is that darkest matte at the end that has a little bit of glitteries in it. For anybody who isn't familiar with this indie brand, I do want to mention that this palette is both cruelty free and vegan, so it is safe for all my vegan friends out there. This is the second palette that I've purchased from Bellabeaute Bar. I also bought their Ultraviolet palette when it released about a year ago, and I really enjoyed that one as well. So I'm not surprised that I'm enjoying Realm of Fairies. And I think that these two palettes that I'm talking about, Realm of Fairies and Ultraviolet, are like sister palettes, a blue and a purple sister. I can see them working really beautifully together. They would be great companion palettes. Overall, I'm really a fan of this palette altogether. I love the color story. I love the packaging. I really, really like the matte shades. I'm very impressed with how the mattes in this palette blended together, especially for some of these softer colors. Even though they're not all quite pastel, I would say they're pastel adjacent. They're very light and more white based matte shades. And shades like that in particular can be quite tricky to layer without blending away all of the color. And I found that these lighter matte shades actually remained really vibrant on my lids. And you'll see when I mix two of the colors together on the same brush later how lovely that effect is. It's giving me a watercolor painting type of feeling. And overall, I'm just really happy with the performance of these mattes in general. It's much easier to impress me with shimmers because as long as it's shiny, I'm probably just going to be mesmerized by the shiny thing. So Matte shadows are often what make or break a palette for me, and I found that I really enjoyed working with the mattes in Realm of Fairies. I also like the fact that there's very few mid-tone colors in this palette. It's a lot of very light versus very dark. There's a high contrast in this palette that I find inspiring, and I also think it really fits the whole theme and the vibe of this palette. And that high contrast, high light, dark contrast is almost the opposite of what I did with my Enchanted Autumn palette, which was very, very mid-tone across the board intentionally. And I feel like this is very, very high contrast intentionally. I enjoy that. I find that intriguing and a little bit out of the box. I wish that there was maybe a little bit more variety in some of these lighter shimmer shades. If I would give one criticism to this palette, it would be I wish that there was a little bit more variety in those lighter shimmery shades. The three, maybe even four, but definitely three lightest metallic shades in this palette all end up looking very, very similar on my eye. So I wish that we had maybe a pop of a pink or pop of a lavender, or maybe even like a super gunmetal silvery type of color, something like that would really shake up that similarness for me. But in general, I think that this is really, really well curated, very beautiful, very much something that I see myself using quite a lot over this next year, especially now that I am finally embracing the fact that I might actually be a blue eyeshadow girly, especially when it's paired with purples and silvers and almost a vampier type of flavor. So I guess this palette came at the perfect time for me to embrace my blue girl lifestyle. Here it is. Okay, it's gonna happen. This is the year for it, I suppose. Lastly, I have one brand new product that I'm testing out. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal Mascara. This one's priced between 13 and 16 bucks depending on where you're shopping. And this mascara does have a waterproof version as well. Personally, I just prefer washable mascaras for myself, but FYI, if you are a waterproof mascara type of person, you can find this in a waterproof formula. I'm using the blackest black shade, but there is also just a regular black shade. Not sure what the difference is. And then there is a black brown option as well. This Big Deal mascara claims to be both lengthening and volumizing, and it's also supposed to be super buildable and clump resistant. I will say I've worn this a few times since filming this first impression, and I will agree with all of those claims, but I do want to mention that this is not a super dramatic mascara. Even though it's lengthening and volumizing, you can see side by side here with the mascara applied to one of my eyes and not to the other, just curled lashes on the other side. That way you can get a real feel for this. It did add some length, it did add some volume, but it still looks very natural. It's not dramatic. For me, that's a great thing because I do tend towards a more natural, fluttery, and separated type of lash look. So, if you're looking for a false lash effect type of mascara, this one's probably not going to do it for you. But for me, personally, for my preferred makeup aesthetic, this works really well and I've been happy with it. As you can see, I just applied one coat. What I call one coat is one dip in from the wand. So I keep going over my lashes to make sure all the lashes are evenly coated and separated, but I'm not going in and layering up. So even though I'm swiping over the lash a bunch of times, it's still one coat in my mind because it's just one dip into the tube. Hopefully that makes sense. And this mascara is definitely holding up against some more powerful eye makeup. I mean, it's blue, it's sparkly, it's spotlight, it's faux liner, smudgy, and you can still see my lashes pretty clearly. So for me, this really strikes the right balance to give me some more length, volume, define the lashes, but it's not looking clumpy and spidery and over the top. So I like it, and I really like how this whole look turned out.
Right off the bat, I'll say nothing is terrible, but there are some things that I am less excited about than others. Let's just start with the bad news first. These two, I don't really like these two items. The plumping little lip oil, probably not a surprise, but I do think that it's pretty shocking that I don't at least medium like this cream blush. It already feels to me like it's fading and losing intensity. It wasn't terribly difficult to blend out, but I don't think that it ever looked fully perfectly smooth. I have a deep love of cream and liquid blushes, and I wouldn't say I have a super high bar. I like almost all of them that I try. And this one definitely ranks pretty low for me. It wasn't super effortless. I felt like I had to blend a lot to get it to look good. I feel like it's fading quickly. And I think even once I got it blended in, I think that it just looks a little bit patchy and uneven. Not terrible. Definitely not awful. Like I felt like I was swindled out of my money or anything. I do think this was just subpar compared to a lot of other cream blushes that I love. And this Plump Ambition lip oil, I was hoping it was one of those fake plumping lip oils that is just supposed to make your lips look hydrated and glossy, and that's the plumping effect. But no, this does have a medium intensity tingle. Took me a couple of minutes for it to really kick in. It wasn't so uncomfortable where it felt like it was like buzzing and hurting where you want to immediately take it off. But it's not something that I would continually reach for and want to put on my lips over and over again. Sort of like the So Juicy plumping stuff from ColourPop. It's similar to that in intensity. It's not super strong, but it's definitely that minty tingle. It has sort of a chocolate peppermint, like thin mint type of scent. So I think it smells good. I just don't like these. I keep giving them a shot and I feel like I give them a fair shot. If you're somebody that's into lip plumpers, you'll probably love this. I'm just not that girl. This Halo Glow powder filter is middle of the road for me today. I think I'll like this a lot more in the warmer and more humid months when I do tend to reach for an all over face powder. This isn't as glowy as I expected. I would say less visible glow on application than my beloved MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. I think this is going to be a nice drugstore option. I imagine that when I am in my face powdering era, I'll probably really like this. I don't think it looks bad. It's just not the type of product that I use a lot in the winter, but I'm not ruling it out. I think this might end up being great. This might end up being a summer staple for me. And lastly, the eyes really just killed it for today's video. I am most excited about these two items. This palette is super beautiful. I love the cool tones. I love the purple and blue blurple vibes. I love these really, really shiny foily shimmers. I love a super metallic lid. And this is giving me so much shininess. I like that there are a lot of great, really desaturated colors in here mixed with these brighter and sparklier pops. It just gives a lot of contrast. I think it's an interesting color story. It's a beautiful formula. I'm really glad that I purchased this. It's super pretty. Look, my favorite palettes of 2024 proved that it's time for me to just break into blues. So, Realm of Fairies, here I go. And my initial first impression of this Paradise Big Deal mascara is very good. I do need to spend several days wearing a mascara before I decide how I feel about it. Does it flake? Does it hold a curl? Does it dry out too quickly? You know, we need several rounds of testing before I can really make an informed decision. But my first impression of this is very good. I love how separated my lashes look, but they still have a really natural quality. They don't look clumpy and overdone. I like a more natural lash look, even with a more intense eyeshadow look a lot of the time. So I like this. I like how it built up. I like that my lashes weren't, it's not too wet to where my lashes wanted to stick together. So far, so good. Gotta keep wearing it, but I'll keep you posted. That's what the monthly rankings are for. That's it for this round of testing new makeup. I would love to hear what you think about the products I showed today. Are there any other new drugstore products that you think I should test on my channel? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I don't even know what you're talking about, honestly. How are they gonna know if you don't know? If I don't know, they're not gonna know. Get it together. Let's see if this Sweet Violet and the Berry Sparkler Dewy Bar are as similar as I think they are. Oh, Berry Sparkler's a little bit more reddish. Very close though. Sweet Violet is a little bit more, it's a little bit more like pinky purple. This is a little bit more reddish. I thought those were going to be more similar. Not crazy dissimilar though. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do I know what I mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? Oh my gosh, Justin Bieber. Don't sue me. Don't copyright strike me, Justin Bieber. He's busy as a kid now, right? Oh, wish me luck. But they still have a really... Hello? Is this thing on? Shiny, 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 shiny. I wore my long, dangly moons and stars. I thought it would be perfect for this look. These are so light, too. I forget that I'm wearing them until they, like, tap me on the neck. Good times. I love this eye look so much. It's so cute. Mm-mm. I bought myself some sushi at the grocery store last night. Don't judge me, okay? Where I live, grocery store sushi is one of the absolute best options. And it's pretty good. Publix and Harris Teeter both have some pretty decent sushi because they make it in store, you know? They have the little like grocery store counter where they're making it and it's good. I mean, it's not the best. It's not like authentic, of course. I'm in the middle of nowhere, small town, North Carolina. We need to set the bar a little lower for sushi around here, okay? But I'm excited. That's what I'm having for lunch. I'm gonna put a little sriracha, a little soy sauce. You don't know. You don't know. I might steam up a little edamame. I can be unpredictable. Okay, this eyeshadow is so freaking pretty. I love it. Okay, that's it. Did I do everything? Did I forget anything? Did I say everything? Who knows? I'll figure it out when I'm editing. That'll be editing Amanda's problem. Good luck to her. All right, gotta go eat my grocery store sushi. I love your face. Bye.